What you waiting for? It's time. Time for love. It's time. Time for the sun and sand. It's time. Time for fun. It's time. It's time. It's time to let your hair down. Come on. Come on. Come on. To have no fear. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's time. What you waiting for? It's time. 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 What you waiting for?
Check my hair. Maybe. Are we on? We're done. Ready to go. Rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Merv Britto Show. My name is Merv Britto, and we are doing this live broadcast of our show. Wherever in the world you may be, I hope you're having a great day and everything's working out. Coming up on today's show, we'll be discussing what we want. We actually want to discuss and dissect last week's interview with the one and only Rohit.
Yeah.
Very interesting character. Really proud of or happy that he was kind enough to jump onto the show and do the interview with us. U.S. scientists to use Chinese robot to do keyhole surgery.
Yes.
Has the casino lobby captured the government? Enough's enough movement. Retired Justice Ferdino Rebello fires 10 questions at the Goa government. I want to know about that. I want to do a lot more about that. And we have reached the most interesting part of the World Cup, the semis. Not the most interesting. You got the quarters and the finals, actually. No?
Oh, I've just completed the quarterfinals.
Yes.
I think you're right, Merv. So it is the most interesting part right now.
Well, we want to talk about, Joanne's just happy because England won yesterday. But I want to talk about some of the problems, and everybody's talking about the World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump into that. A lot of these and a whole lot more interesting, thought-provoking topics and opinions coming up on today's show. You can't hear it.
I can.
So you think it's too
Still
loud?
keeps going.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to introduce the rest of you,
is it
Joanne.
standing ovation.
Have you forgotten about how the show normally works? Ladies and gentlemen, as we always do before we go any further, I want to say, send a shout out and thank you to our team that makes this all happen. Starting with Mr. Wilbert Cardozo.
Hello everyone, have a good day and a very happy 75th birthday to our parish priest, Father Galberto D'Souza.
You think he's actually listening?
I don't think so.
Well, somebody's going to have to tell him. He's your parish priest in Siolim, yeah?
Yes.
Now can they put it masangre?
Father Galberto.
Galberto, not Gilberto.
No, Galberto.
Father Galberto, a very, very happy birthday, anniversary?
75th birthday.
Wow. Okay. Sitting to his right is the big fella, Mr. Ajoy Barreto.
Hey guys. Oh my gosh, it's been we missed y'all. Like in after last week. I hope you all had a good one. And let's get to it.
Last but definitely not the least, the wordsmith, the wordinator. She wasn't the breakfast queen today, I'll tell you that.
Can we just please have one introduction without mentioning breakfast?
Sweetie, I'm all about food.
I look forward to hearing what you guys had for breakfast on a Sunday morning.
Listen, I went to bed at 7 o'clock this morning.
Okay, let me say your name before you jump right in. The love of my life, the apple in my eye. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Joanne Barreto.
Hi, everybody.
Now you can whine about me, hon.
I'm not whining about you. I'm just saying I went to bed at 7 o'clock this morning because, of course, I was high on adrenaline after England beat.
Who did England beat?
Who do you think they
Norway.
beat? They beat Haaland. Bless him.
Haaland, no, we will discuss about it a little later, right, Merv?
We gotta talk. Listen, we've had interesting discussions here in the studio, and I think everybody out there's talking about it, all these football fanatics, because there's so many good things happening, but there's a lot of bad things and questionable things, and I don't like the other Baldy. I don't like that dude.
Infantino.
Infanteria. Baga. Kalangu.
Sycophantino.
Sycophantino. Man, I'm not a fan of his. I tell you what, he is not my favorite FIFA club president, yes? The champion. What is he? What's his title, dude? FIFA president?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Of FIFA, yeah.
Guys, sure, mare. Fortalo taka, Cordia. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump right into the show. We've said thank you to all the people that make this happen. We did a good show last week, and we took a little bit of time off. We spoke to Rohit, which we're going to discuss, and we're going to dissect the interview. But for all of you who are just tuning in, this is a live broadcast, podcast, whatever you want to call it. We do an interactive show every week on Sunday. We do this because this is our way of giving back to a place we love so much. We want to make people aware of what's going on, what's happening out there, topical and around locally in Goa, around the world, in India, around the world. But we have our own opinions, and the opinions expressed on the show are our own opinions and not necessarily the opinions expressed or implied by the Merv Britto Show itself. We got to say that for legal reasons.
Yes, indeed.
This is a live broadcast show, and we'd love to hear from you. Please check us out on social media, on our social media handles, and support us. If you like what we do, tell people about it. Like, share, subscribe, click the ding, the bell for notifications. All of that's on the screen right now. Check out previous episodes and more about all of us that put this all together on our website, themervbritto.show.com. We're out on social media. You can contact us. Yes, Mr. Barreto.
We have Amit K. Shetri, who's saying right now that he's saying hello from Mandrem. Goa needs serious sustainable development. Local greed is also need to be checked. But firstly, I'm really happy that he's messaging in. And would you want to say hello to him?
What's his name? Say it again.
Amit K. Shetri.
Amit Shetri, in Mandra. Dude, I'd rather be in Mandra. Actually, I'm on the beach right now. Amit, I don't know if you can see me. Look to your left. Amit, look to your left. No, the other left, Amit. I'm waving at you. I'm just kidding. Social media, get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Amit, thank you for your comment, my friend. We do this show because we're passionate. We love what we do. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics. What do you want to talk about first, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I was going to say we didn't take time off last week. We worked probably doubly hard because it was fantastic that we actually had the interview with Rohit. So that had been pre-recorded, but we'd obviously worked on that as well, just to make sure that to enhance the interview itself, that there was lots of B-rolls that were kind of accompanying that, and obviously images of Rohit, his family, lots of things, his initiatives and stuff like that accompanying the interview itself. So I was hoping for some time off.
It doesn't work that way, my love.
Happen, but it was brilliant. I think it was great, and we've had some great interaction from our viewers as well.
I've had a couple of friends of mine, a couple of people that I do know, a couple of not one stranger, but a bunch of people that I do know that spoke about this, and everybody was impressed that we actually took them on the air. And there were a couple of things that I've been thinking about that have been playing on my mind. We could have done so much of a better job. We weren't properly prepared for the studio. And ladies and gentlemen, Joanne just mentioned, we are doing the show live, and if you don't believe me, you can call the number 7507. It's our WhatsApp number, 7507-246-246. We will answer your call. We're live in the studio. But last week's episode, we did record it live, but there was a lot of editing that had to be done to be able to add B-rolls and images and footage and background information about what we were speaking about. So It's not like we did something, we did it, but recorded it live, but we had to polish the apple before we put it out. I was thrilled about the episode, and I wasn't as comfortable in a live studio setting because we did it in Panjim for his convenience as I am speaking here. The one thing that's plagued my mind, and a lot of people were so impressed about how he was forthcoming and he answered questions and he gave you examples, and he was honest. And I've known Rohit for a long time. There's many people that have opinions about him, good, bad, or ugly, but the fact is he had the balls to come on the show, answer the question. So there was no punches pulled. There was no list of questions given to him, and I demand these questions in advance, and I'm going to answer them. And he said to me, dude, you ask me a question, I'll answer it if I can. I wanted to ask him specifically about the garbage, and I spoke to him about Rohit, why don't y'all have more receptacles in Panjim? And he mentioned about the back end and how they have problems with the recycling and separation and
segregation.
It screws up their whole process. And I meant to say, and I wish I had said this, Rohit, if you're listening, why is it being done all around the world? We can do the segregation. They've got AI, they've got tools in the recycling facilities where actually, no matter whether people are smart enough to segregate their garbage or not segregate the garbage, when it goes through the facilities, it's segregated autonomously. So that's something I wish I'd asked him and I regret it. But I wanted to put it out there.
But I think also there's not a full consistency in how this has been implemented across Goa itself anyway. So Panjim is a great example of being able to do that. My concern is when people do have rubbish, what do you actually do with it? How do you take it away? Are you supposed to carry it around with you like the Japanese in the sports stadiums, like take it home with them?
But they're next level, Joanne. They're next level. And the fact is, again, here I'm saying to you, you have to have receptacles, garbage bins, whatever you want to call them. You have to have them around everywhere. And you give people the opportunity, benefit of the doubt. They've got them all over the place, and you can have the 3 little holes on the top of the bin, wet, recyclable, and cardboard paper, whatever. Everybody's used to it. We're not stupid, right? If you give people an opportunity to be able to put garbage in its place, it could actually work out.
Yeah, I mean, it can. But what I'm saying is there's a lack of consistency in how it's actually being done in Goa as well. So, if someone's visiting Panjim or whatever, they don't actually have the opportunity to be able to do that segregation. It's only people who are living there, people who've got businesses there, that kind of thing.
Joanne, it's done all around the world. And that's something I'd love. If you get people to sponsor the cans, you can put your logos, you can put your company names, get the cans sponsored, use it. You've got a brilliant department. Rohit's got a bunch of people. He controls, he manages a bunch of people in Panjim. And they're a smart set of guys. Larison and all you guys, you could sell this potentially as a product to companies to be able to advertise themselves, sponsor 100 garbage cans, put your names, put your branding. But if it's being, Ajay, you mentioned a country today that's doing it already, not Japan.
Yes, so that was Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken, and I think we discussed this on one of our previous shows, where Taiwan is now considered, and you guys can fact check me on this. I think it's Taiwan, if I'm not mistaken. They're considered one of the best examples of waste management today, because they have now don't have any public receptacles for convenience. They insist that people, if they were to buy any consumables, they take it home and segregate it there, where they are provided with world-class facilities of collection. From collection, it's taken to segregation, and segregation is robotics. So you have the robotics that are taking care of the segregation to make sure that it is proper.
It's being done, Ajay. It's not that you've got to reinvent the wheel, right? It's being done, right?
And that's why they say that it's the best system right now.
I think it's Japan, because I saw a similar video today morning.
Okay.
I think it's Japan.
Yes. And, it's quite interesting that you mentioned this, Merv, because I remember just seeing a comment on our social media. Unfortunately, I can't find it now. I think the person has removed that comment.
Good comment, bad comment, what?
It's a very good one. It was where this person, I can't remember the name, but if you know who you are, you know who you are. He says that they had deliberately, he was an ex-official or is a current official with the CCP, and they had deliberately made an effort not to have community dustbins for that very reason, because they believe that would lead to non-segregation of garbage, and they focused on door-to-door collection with segregation at door-to-door. So I think guys, these systems, you have to give credit to our officials where we need to, and if you want a better Goa, we need to help in this process as well by segregating at source, yes.
But I here again, I come back to the point that I made, Ajay. If you genuinely want to make a change, and I love what he's doing in Panjim. He spoke about a lot of different things, and like I said, somebody that I didn't know came and approached me and said, "Oh, dude, I love the interview." But a bunch of other people that I do know mentioned about how happy it was interesting about what he said and how he spoke and how well he speaks a mile a minute. By the way, Rohit, goddamn boy, Guinness Book of World Record. But the fact is that he had the guts to come out and talk about it. As a politician. Everybody's scared, right? And he's like, I don't give a shit. I'll speak to you. I'll talk to you on any platform. And he spoke about the things. And the thing is, he's doing a good job. He's doing a job. He's starting. He's been there for 5 years, probably going to be 6 plus many, many more. The fact of the matter remains, he's actually practicing what he preaches. He's got a hell of a schedule, but he's willing to listen to people. And that's what I loved about him. That's the whole idea. We don't have any political affiliation. We weren't paid. We didn't pay him. He didn't pay us. The fact of the matter remains, he's trying to do something for Panjim. And that's your backyard, by the way, big guy.
Yes. So again, in our neck of the woods in Panjim, we do have segregation door to door. And I know there's problems we're facing with, a community next to us that are not doing door-to-door segregation. And I know the CCB guys complain a lot. So again, like I said, I don't know if it's a lack of communication or we need to train them to ensure that they segregate.
Fine them, Ajoy.
Yeah. Or find them.
Find them.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm saying to you, this works all over the world. In the U.S., when we used to have garbage collection on Wednesdays. And if you put the garbage out and it's not been properly segregated, they would not pick up your garbage. Simple as that. But that's level one. If you do it and you don't do what you're supposed to do before they pick it up, they will fine you. Simple implementation, Baba.
Yeah. And Amit Shetri, who had messaged us a little earlier, he continues to say that, hey, you guys are very brave to speak up. I don't think you need to be brave in these kind of circumstances.
What is there to be brave about, Amit?
It's good of him to say that, though.
No, I appreciate the fact he's interacting. That's absolutely fine. Brave in what way? People need to, and I asked Rohit the same thing. We need to question authority, question the police, question your legislators. You put these guys in power, right? So anyway, that was one regret that I had, not asking about garbage receptacles.
Ajoy, you were finishing a point?
Yes. So Amit, apparently you want to get on the show. Please do call us. I shared the number on the chat, the Instagram chat. Please call us. We would love to hear your point of view about Goa, about garbage segregation, and whatever else. Please call us right now.
What was the other thing? The number is 750-724-6246. There's a bunch of people that are sending messages right now, but it's a different can of worms when you've got somebody who's willing to come on the air and talk about these things, all the different processes. People, they think the mayor is going to solve all the problems. Yeah. He's got a hell of a challenge. He's got a hell of a schedule on his plate, and he's doing good things. And not everybody's going to agree with him. Not everybody's going to like him, love him. Some people disagree. But you've got to respect a politician that's willing to come on the air.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I mean, from my perspective, what I thought was really interesting is talking about what is his responsibility and what is not his responsibility and people's misconceptions around that. I think we did a reel on that as well also, if people want to go back to that, so that they can actually just see it abbreviated in terms of what his roles and responsibilities actually are.
Correct.
But the thing is, from also something I picked up on is that there's a lot of personal intervention by him as well, which is fantastic that he takes the time to do that. You would hope that there are also other people in place that can also step in and do these things too. But I feel that because of his civic responsibility and also, your own personal responsibility to make sure you're helping people and getting things done, he's also personally intervening and getting involved in things that really aren't necessarily his
role and responsibility. He wants to get it done. He wants to help everybody.
Yeah.
You can't help everybody, but he's going to try. The other things that I mentioned that I wish I had mentioned, or I wish, dude, it was so messed up being in that studio. That was a lovely studio, by the way. A shout out to, what is it called?
Rashtra TV.
Rashtra TV and Mr. Sandeep Kerkar, who was kind enough to let us use his facility, but it was just like a fish out of water. And everybody said to me, Merv, you should have been more, you're jovial, you're this thing. I'm totally comfortable with Rohit, and I would have laughed and joked with him. I just want this to be one of many interviews, because at the end of the day, you want to encourage young politicians. I don't care what party you're with.
Yeah.
And ask him the tough questions, right?
Yeah. I mean, we were on a deadline also because
We were late, Joanne. We didn't have enough time. We were running out of time, and that's why I'm kicking myself, because I panicked. And
I think you did a great job.
Yeah, you did a
though.
great job.
You did a really great job. I mean, the thing is, we'd worked really, really hard on the questions and stuff like that. And I think also we wanted to find out a little bit more about how he may have engaged with Enough is Enough. And
I didn't ask him that.
I know we wanted to ask that. But again, like you say, you were trying to get through a lot of the main topics. But because of the fact we were on that deadline and we had to vacate the studio
so they could do their live show.
They had a live broadcast.
And I don't know if I mentioned it last time when we did the show, and even in the credits. Calvin DeMello, you're the man. You put this together and you made it all happen. Larison Suarez made this happen. His team and him worked really hard with us, along with him. But I appreciate that. Anyway, I'm not going to, enough about Rohit. Rohit, you're a good guy, and I'm happy. And I'm going to do another interview with you, and I'm going to do it in our own little setting, in our own little studio. So we're totally comfortable, and we're not under any kind of time restraints.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of Justice Rebello, the question, that was my third regret that I didn't ask Rohit, was about Enough's Enough movement and why.
Yeah.
let's get into it. You mentioned 10 questions. So the by the way, speaking of waterways and bodies of water and the casinos on the Mandovi River, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The goddamn war is back on. The Straits of Hormuz, and I wanted to talk about this, but we can talk about it at the end of the show in the international segment. Okay. But it's closed again. And the price of gas is going to go up and the price of petrol is going to go up and all this BS. Thank you, Donald Trump. I want to talk more about the Enough's Enough movement. Somebody brought this to our attention. You guys wanted to discuss about Justice Ferdino Rebello, who's the big cheese, the big boss at Enough's Enough. Joanne, what were the 10 questions? Because something smells fishy in this whole debacle of the casinos. In Panjim. We asked Rohit about it. And I didn't realize that they don't generate any revenue at our local level. It's all the state level that makes these decisions. Yeah. And that's who generates the revenue. The revenue generated by the Panjim CCP and the mayor is only for renting spaces to these boats.
Yeah, no, for the offices.
For the offices. What are these questions? So these are great questions and we need to talk about this.
Yeah. So one thing I would just say is Justice Rebello, obviously he's on a really steady legal footing. So I just think it's really worthwhile people sitting up and taking notice of the questions that he's asking, because he's really dissecting the legal ins and outs of everything. So just to kind of briefly read out the questions, he's saying, why are the casino vessels continuing to operate on the Mandovi River despite Section 13B requiring operations only in territorial waters? Why is the Home Department, Gaming Commissioner and Goa Police allegedly failing to enforce the law? Why are rules under the amended Goa Public Gambling Act not being notified since 2020? So that's like 6 years down the line. Asking whether illegal gaming is being permitted in 5-star hotels beyond what the law allows, i.e. that electronic gambling.
No, it's happening on land, right? They try to circumvent the law and put it offshore. Yeah. But it's within the limit. And why is it not being enforced? Sorry, go on. Keep reading.
So it's saying, why are successive governments repeatedly extending deadlines instead of relocating the casino vessels? Why is the government assuming responsibility for identifying alternative sites for casinos, but allegedly failing to do so? And then why are casino operations allegedly continuing over, even during periods when there's no valid notification that existed?
Okay, Joe, I want to take this call. We're going to get into this, because people are really, and it's a very good topic to talk about. Let's get on. Who's on? Somebody on the phone already on? Hello.
Yeah, hi, it's me, Amit.
Hi, Amit.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Baba, I'm a little bit jealous because I'm in Kandoli. You're in Mandrem right now.
Yeah. I've been living this side for past, since 2015.
Wow. Thank you for calling in. Listen, I want to hear what you have to say. You've been messaging to the show. Tell me a little bit about your local Goan boy. Are you from Goa, by the way?
No. I'm originally from Nepal, but I was born and raised in Delhi because my father was in Indian Army. Okay. And I studied and been doing research in sustainable development for past 15 years. So, yeah. And coming to Goa was the reason I wanted to learn mud houses, where they have the, in Goan culture, they used to build these Portuguese mud houses. Yeah. If you know about that. So after earthquake, I came and did a course over here. So, yeah.
Wow. You've been here ever since, yes? I said you've been here ever since the time you came here. You haven't left or something, right? You moved to Goa finally. We lost you. Are you there? Can you hear me? Amit?
Yes.
Yeah. You there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I love you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
I heard you mention sustainability. I love that. Tell me what
the network is bit. Hello.
Go on.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're absolutely fine now. Go ahead.
Hello.
Amit, can you hear me? We're having phone problems.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yes. Your voice was a little bit breaking apart. So Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Stay in one place. Don't move around. I can hear you, Bubba. What I'm saying to you is, Amit, you've moved. So you're living here full time, right? You're originally from wherever, but you've moved to Goa. You're doing something with sustainability?
Yes. So I started with Arambol. Now we have moved to Mandrem, and there are a lot of concern here about the CRZ zone also. Meanwhile, we have been, given the property to even build mud cottages, and then later on we find out that the landlord was not even landlords; they were caretakers. So these are things that happen already. So I learned the hard way, and then we figure out that there's lots of misinformation about Goa. I love Goan people. I love this culture. It's like my home. Been for 11 years here, and when we find out that there is, I said, the greed from the both hand. Like people from Delhi, Mumbai, they come here and they think okay, business will be easier doing here, and they compare the prices of the rent and even buying it from, let's say, comparatively to Mumbai to Delhi. It looks cheaper even to buy it, to rent it. And in that way, the greed comes in, which is not sustainable. And that's how the local places get disrupted by unnecessary and unsustainable structures, which has been a huge concern.
I agree with you. It takes two hands to clap. Yeah, you have all the outsiders coming in, buying the place. They've got the money, but you also have to be somebody here locally who's going to sell the property. So, listen, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as what's being done is good for the place, the environment, the residents, the people, it's not breaking any rules and laws. When you mention Morjim, Mandre, that side, that Arambol area, I always have a question. We're actually talking right now about the casinos on the Mandovi River. When you mention up north, I always consider the Oliver Ridley turtles in in Morjim on the beach. That is a protected sanctuary. And why are the authorities not cracking down more about these disruptions to the natural? You can have shacks, you can have sustainable huts and all these kind of things, as long as it doesn't affect the natural cycle, right? What the beach there in that area is being a sanctuary for the Oliver Ridley or the leatherback or whatever the turtles are, right? These are the things that we talk about on the show, and why are they being allowed to happen? Even if they're wrong, they're illegal, just like the casinos in Panjim. Do you see this happening on a large scale in that area where you've got shacks, nightlife, parties, music?
The thing is, I was behind the dunes, so I was already way behind, and it was already established house and the garden area where we have created a small business, a small cafe, which was based on farm to fork. We were supporting local farmers and growers and local fishermen to bring the goods, and we were serving it. And we had a dispute. We didn't, but the whole village, what happened. So I'll tell you the story about Arambol. What happened, there was a dispute between a Delhi guy and a Sarpanch who was putting a case on each other that, he said his property is illegally built. And the Delhi guy said his property is behind me is also illegally built, which comes in CRZ zone. And they have establishment which is more than 3 floors. And hotels were built over there illegally, basically, which was between the beach and the backwaters. And when the Sarpanch got to surveyed and they found out that, the property is illegally built, he said the whole village has built illegally. So 180 businesses got shut down. So it got backfired. And then the villagers, and they were Catholic, and the guy was also Christian, they caught him and beat the shit out of him, made him naked on the beach, and his panchayat Sarpanch got cancelled. So there was a huge mess over there.
Wow, why didn't we hear more about this? This is the first time. When did this happen, Amit?
This was 2023, and I got into the fire. The whole village was burning, and meanwhile I had this because my cafe was very popular. We were doing open mics, but I was never playing music more than 11 maximum. Yeah, and it was mostly for community and live music and supporting artists and local families, and was running well. But then behind my property, some Delhi guy came, bought the property, and he wanted to have a beachfront property. He offered my landlord, although I have 7 years contract, but he offered my landlord, 400 times more rent. Rather than buying the business from me, they go through the landlord and they pay them, and landlord also get greedy. And
next thing you know, Amit's on the beach. Yeah?
Yeah, this happens all the time in the beach.
listen, it's not the first time. It happens all the time. People in power will misuse their power, and you expect those people in power, a lot of times they're in government, to protect the people that have put them in power. You would expect them to be the conscious moral value. Listen, you can't do this. I don't care where you're from. It's not always Delhi, it's not Mumbai, it's not an outsider. The fact of the matter remains, you expect these people in power to enforce the rules, the laws, whether it's the casino boats on the river in Panjim or these guys that are operating illegally on the beaches and doing stuff that they're not supposed to do. Everybody is welcome here. We love the locals, are the most welcoming, lovely people. But as long as you play by the rules, you don't want to make this another Mumbai or another Delhi, Amit. So if you're here doing the right thing the right way, it's sad because the panchayat people are a lot of times are the worst breakers of the rules and the laws, and they get away with it because they run the show. And it's only when, by the way, I got to mention while you're on the phone, Amit, there's a good friend of mine, a guy named Satish, who runs one of my all-time favorite restaurants, Gunpowder, in Asagaon, who's been shut down. And it was because of some dispute with the panchayat. But if you're breaking the rules, the panchayat should shut you down. There's no reason that you should be allowed to get away with anything illegal if it's against the rules, right?
I agree with that.
So these casinos.
I was the happiest person.
Yeah, go on.
My cafe got shut before even got it shut because I was already pressured by the landlord because he got greedy, and then the whole village was already on fire because of Sarpanch. So it was more like a karmic journey for me. I said, okay, I'll step out peacefully. I took a place in Mandrem, which is in the main road away from the beach. And I was already, because I have studied disaster management also. So I knew that this is going to happen. So I managed to save my business. And at least, overnight we were not, businessless or homeless. So that was the thing. But not so many people are aware of it. And what my concern is I love Goa and I'm very compassionate about Goa and Goan people. And this is not Goan culture. If you see in Morjim, there is a place called Ferdino, and there was a social also, which was a massive construction has been built on the Turtle Beach. And I was shocked, this is a massive chain, anti-social, they call themselves. It suits the name. And they have I'm an environmental activist also, so I can say openly. If they want to come after me, I'm happy to do that. But I will fight for the people and local people who have been actually blinded by the, flooded money which is coming, probably the black money. And they have destroyed the beach, made a place looks like a metro station, to be honest. And, this massive roof that is not even sustainable for monsoon. The water was coming in. And then it got shut. And the same thing happened with Ferdino. They are already massive. And then they allowed the Ferdino. And I was like, how come this has been allowed? And this is gonna, they are now stopping the access to the beach for the local people or any tourist will go. We have to buy a ticket to go in to the beach.
Wow, to the beach?
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
You
can't go to the beach now. You have to go from a weird alley somewhere. If you go through there, they want to cover charge to go through their restaurant.
That's the point. That's why we do this show, by the way. We do this show. This is our only, we're not making any money. This show is not monetized. We're not making any money. We have no, but these are the kind of people like you that love this place. I don't care where you're from. The fact of the matter, you've taken the time to call it and make people known about this. This is absolutely unacceptable that the local people or anybody for that matter needs to pay to access the beach unless it's private property. But the fact of the matter remains is, why is this being all these rules that are being flaunted and being broken? Why are they not enforced? The judicial system is a joke. It'll take you forever. But the police should be enforcing this, right?
Well, they're taking bribe. So it's like they are in the pocket. Panchayat is in the pocket and they are running it like a, what do you call it? The Godfather scene here, they own the beach now. Wow. So yes, okay, you can walk on the beach. But if you want to have an access, let's say there is no parking, so parking issue, you know how it is. And then they have to have a private parking, so they rent more land. And the local people are laid back. And to be honest, there is no infrastructure or job or sustainable development, or people are kind of helpless. So lots of, there is a brain drain in Goa. The youth has to go to Dubai, Middle East to work, or maybe if they are lucky or they have good family background, so they might go to Europe. But that's the, they think the grass is greener. They get burned out working over there, and then they come back and they don't have any place for them because
you can't afford to buy it, dude. It's too expensive. Now
the land is expensive for Goans to buy.
It is.
They can't even afford it.
It is. Listen,
so it's not sustainable.
Your plan. What is your plan? So you're running a business, a sustainable business. You're still planning on staying here, I hope.
Yeah, I'm doing. I'm still hoping that I would love to provide Goa state. We are already working on it. That I think there should be we need to build an eco city in Goa, where we present that this is possible to create a sustainable either a small eco town where people can have tourism, people can have permission. Doesn't have to be on the beach. The government should apply and implement and work on that, and there people can have it. I think that's the only solution, because building a smart city is not a solution in Panjim. I think finding somewhere where people can build with the synergy, with the biodiversity, like even Bhutan is doing it, so why can't Goa do it?
There you go.
I think that's the only solution I see it, because we have to work from scratch.
You hit the nail upon the head. You mentioned Bhutan. Listen, Amit, I would love to stay and talk, and I'm so happy. I'm so glad. Actually, you know what? It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, because you obviously somebody who actually lives and eats and breathes sustainability, who loves and can speak very, very clearly about what you know what you're talking about, and I love that.
Yes.
Please stay in touch with us. Yes, we want to be able to call you, and you can give us some information. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you. Apparently, the Goa Tourism have actually stated that sustainable tourism is their objective going forward. So, have you got contact within Goa Tourism? Have you had anyone reach out to you, or have you been able to arrange any meetings with them?
To be honest, I've been trying to save my business here, where, it's very tricky, to be honest. And at the same time, when you talk with local people about sustainable development, they say, how much rent you going to pay? Or you'll have 10% increase. So renting a place is not sustainable to the core. So if the government gives me 100-acre land, I will build an eco town, even alone. I will build mud houses one by one. I will create yoga places, retreat by myself. I'm capable enough.
I'm going to give you two last things. I'm going to ask you one question. I'm going to give you. I've got a place that I'm happy to give you. We can do something off the air. Get in touch with me. I do have a place on the river. It's not mine. It's my sister's place, but it's a beautiful place that actually could use something like this. But more importantly,
I'll move my stuff right now. I'm tired of this greed.
Listen, my last question to you is, what is the name of your place, by the way, in Mandrem? You can give
It's called Lush Garden or Lush Bistro B&B. I'll send you the Instagram handle also. We have a bit of a following also. We would love to tag you also. And the thing is, we need to collaborate with sustainable developers and people who understand sustainability. To be honest, sustainable word has been buttressed by the corporate.
It's been used and abused.
It's been abused. So basically, we need to create equitable platform. I think that will be a justifiable word I will use very carefully, that once the local landlords understand eco projects that can come up, I think that's the way that to collaborate. And then if we take out the greed from that, and then we can create a sustainable system, I think that will be an example that people, social entrepreneurs can come along, and we can create some, possibilities for young generation to stay in Goa, generate a nice income, do women empowerment, because now men are gone and women are trying to make an income.
Yeah.
And they are struggling, because now the grocery shops, if you go in Mandrem, or it's not just because of foreigners and tourists, the prices have increased. For locals also it's the same prices, and they are not making income. So what they do, they have no life. And this has been a concern for some people who have sold the land, who have gone a little bit greedy and corrupt. They have some money.
It's too late now.
They're also struggling.
You've already sold the property, no?
Yeah.
You're in, is it called Lush Garden? I'm putting it out on the screen. Is it called Lush Garden Boutique and Cafe?
Lush Bistro, yeah. Lush Bistro Boutique and Cafe, that's the one.
It looks lovely.
It looks really, really nice, dude. I can see it on the screen, and we'll put a link to it. Stay in touch with us. I appreciate you calling in, my friend. I wish you...
Yeah.
What? Tell me.
We can connect you with some of our other friends who are also on the same page as you. So, yeah, let's get your full contact details.
We'll get your details from you. Amit, thank you for calling in, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, If you're in Mandrem, go to Lush. Go say hi to Amit. But this is exactly... We're aligned, Amit. I'm on the same page as you, my friend. I agree with a lot of what you said. I wish I had more time to chat and talk to you about these things. We will stay in touch. Send me a message to that same number, and I'll get in touch with you. I've got something I'll talk to you about off the air. Okay? God bless you, man. Take care.
Yes, man. God bless us and God bless Goa. And I think we need to save Goa, because this is not Goa, which they are bringing it to the unsustainable way. I think government needs to be concerned about it. And I think there is a possibility. And you were talking about garbage. because of caste system and low payment, that's why we have garbage problem. So once we are conscious about it and people are working on it, and industries which has built for recycling and sustainable development, that could be a solution. Because when there is a problem, there is a solution.
There's
also. I believe in
always
solutions.
a solution, dude. There's always a solution to every problem. If you really want to find it, there are solutions out there. I mean, thank you, my friend. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you again, yes?
Thank you for allowing me to come in your platform. And you guys keep talking about these things. And I wish you the best and keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother.
All the best.
Oh, wow. That was so cool, man, that you talk about impromptu. What's Amit's surname? I didn't mention his surname.
Shetri.
Shetri, yeah?
Yes.
So, and Shetri is Nepal, from Nepalese origin.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's so cool because he's listening to the show. He's in Mandrem, and he's basically saying what we're trying to say, and we've been trying to preach to the choir for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that just because... Another one? Same guy?
Same guy, yeah.
Quickly, dude. I got to get on with this, mate. I mean, go ahead, Baba.
Yeah, Amit Shetri is, that's my, my father's name. So
Shetri, right?
Yeah.
Big shout out.
I'm a warrior.
You go, my friend.
Warrior.
Keep fighting for Goa. Take care of our Goa, yes? You've always got a home here on the show.
And amazing Goan people. I love the fish curry. This is my thing. And I have 4 Goan ladies working in my cafe.
Oh,
we're already working on women empowerment. And we have trained them, and they are amazing. They are even supporting us in off season. So yes, there is a beauty of Goa, but at the same time, because of this rapid development, people got a little bit, I think they've been victimized by the flooded money in. So
absolutely, easy money. That's always the thing that changes everything. People will sell their soul for a little bit extra money. Thank you, Amit. Thanks very much. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. And,
take care, brother.
I wish you the luck and good luck with the sustainable development and Goa.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Keep on keeping on. That's awesome, yeah? The fact of the matter remains that what he's saying is so true. And it's not just the outsiders, it's not people from outside, it's blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of people that are doing not so good things to our Goa, and that's why we talk about it.
Merv, I remember traveling to... When I got my Pulsar, my 150cc Pulsar, the first, design or version of it, I said, I'm going to put some fuel in this and I'm going to travel the length and breadth of Goa. So I did that because I hardly did that before that. And I went to Mandrem and I went to Morjim. I kid you not, it was so beautiful. It was untouched, right? And I always say the death knell for Morjim and Mandre and Goa was when this movie Dil Chahta Hai. I don't know if you know about it.
I don't do Hindi.
Can you sing after me? Dil Chahta Hai. Okay.
Are you going to put me on this? Sing a Konkani song.
Okay, but anyways, because of Dil Chahta Hai, you had a lot of influx of people, wanting to come to Goa. And Mandrem over 10 years changed. Morjim first and then Mandre. And it is actually supposed to be a conservation area for olive ridley nesting, and you can see now by the latest report that it's having a very adverse effect on the nesting rates.
Yeah, but Ajay, somebody's got to give a shit. Somebody's got to give a flying F about this problem, right? When everybody's so busy trying to get grab and greed. You know what I'm saying? So what this guy's saying is so true. What you're saying is so true. Mandrem, Morjim, Arambol, you go further now to Keri.
Yeah.
It was pristine, and that's what the Europeans, that's why I loved a lot of the Europeans.
Yes.
Because they genuinely came here, they wanted to enjoy the place, but they took care of it.
They didn't destroy.
Yeah.
They didn't destroy. They enjoyed. They wanted to be one with nature. And they didn't have that much of an impact through their tourism on Goa. I'm sorry to say, but now the newer generation of Goans and the new generation of tourists that are coming here don't have that mindset. It's more about take, and not impact tourism. So that's what's happening in North Goa, for example. From the loud music, lights that are focused on the beach.
Of course.
These things will affect olive ridley nesting.
Yeah.
In South Goa, especially in Talpona and in Galjibag, they're very strict about these rules. For example, I had gone there and stayed at a resort, and this resort didn't have any lights focused on the beach. Small things like these make a huge difference in the nesting, and the nesting is okay over there because of these reasons. So where there's a will, there's a way. You know, if you had Goans who really loved Goa, especially people from Morjim and Mandrem, if they really loved Mandrem and Morjim, they would have made sure that these things were implemented. But you guys want your money, right? So
but that's the point, right? You'll sell your soul to the devil. That's what Amit was saying, right? Things have changed there. I didn't know about this problem with the panchayat and the locals and all this kind of stuff. The point I'm trying to make is that if you genuinely give a shit about a problem, you can fix it, right? Like he said, you entrust the people that you vote for, that you put in power, Joanne, and you put them in. And then you have these situations where this is one of many, Ajoy. You can listen. Oliver Ridley nesting drops by over 50% in North Goa. Mate, this is not something happened yesterday.
No, we covered this as well when it was first reported.
Sweetie, this has been happening for many, many years. But why is it okay in the South and people are handling the problem? And why is it not being handled here in the North?
Yeah.
And if you give a shit about a problem and somebody really cares, they can fix the problem. Don't reinvent the wheel. The point I'm trying to make is what Amit said, and we talk about this on a regular basis. We entrust the people that are supposed to manage this. We were talking about Justice Rebello before we got sidetracked.
Yeah.
Why are casinos being allowed on the river? Why are on-land casinos being allowed to happen?
Yeah.
So somebody's turning a blind eye. And that's what pisses you off, because you entrust these people, and it's usually the people in power that can do the most damage, that can take the most advantage.
Yeah.
So that's what we do the whole show about. It's a live show. By the way, if you don't believe it's a live show, ask Amit about it. He just called in. Ladies and gentlemen, put our number on the thing. I can't take too many more calls, but it's nice to have people's opinions. Joanne, you want to say something?
So there's a couple of points I just wanted to make. And put the numbers up. I can still talk while you
keep talking. The numbers on there, all the Merv Britto Show contact details. But more importantly, people say to me, "Oh, this is not a live show." I just called it on that same number on WhatsApp, 7507-246-246. We see your messages, and I will respond. Go on.
Yeah. So the point that I actually wanted to make was the fact that Ajoy, building on that point that you were saying about a lot of the Europeans came here, and they didn't want to have a negative impact. So I would say, just as you were talking, it just triggered a memory. I did a course. I graduated with a qualification in travel and tourism because I was so interested in it, and I not even thought about it once since we've been doing this show. And the thing is, in Europe, we know that there's been exploitation of tourism, like in Spain in this early 70s. People were going to Spain, and the costas just became overcrowded. There was too much trouble. Just too many things were going on whereby it was just not sustainable. So a lot of people in Europe have been alerted to the fact that you've got to be able to preserve local livelihoods, local lifestyles, all of that without just intruding too much. And I think maybe because of that, we were aware of it maybe a little bit earlier than people were here in Goa. So when people are traveling here, they see, what did go wrong in the early days of tourism as it started to become mass tourism, and didn't want that to happen over here too, and have maybe been a little bit more mindful for that.
Yeah. Listen, we spoke about that. And I asked Rohit the same question in Panjim. Why can't you make Panjim more of an example and a litmus test, a petri dish, an example of what can and cannot work, right? You've got answers to any question, any conundrum, any problem, you can find a solution, right? But you've got to want to do that. We spoke about the nightlife, and there's a balance, and they've done a great job in Panjim. I'm not just saying this. We went and experienced it when we did what was that called? What was that thing where we went to all those casinos?
The bar hop.
The bar hop.
Yep.
You've got some beautiful restaurants, some gastro pubs, some they're popping up like mushrooms, and promote them. But there again, you have to have a balance between disturbing the locals, the nightlife, and encouraging people to come and visit your restaurants, right?
Right.
Just like these beaches and a lot of the beautiful things. When the Europeans came here, they would really want to enjoy themselves, but they wanted to take care of the place and leave the places because they had the opportunity, they had the knowledge, they had the experience, the training, whatever the case may be. A lot of these other countries in Europe, by the way, were up in arms because they didn't want the Brits. They didn't want a lot of these people that although it was revenue generating, they didn't want to destroy the local culture. Yeah. I don't understand why we're not able to do that here in Goa. So the sad thing is it'll happen differently in Mandrem as it would in Morjim, as it would in Arambol, in Keri as it would in Kolva, in Benaulim, in these places down in Gajibag and all these places. There should be rules and laws that are central government, that our local government that implements, right? And that you would task your Pramod Sawant government to implement. Yes, the Panchayat to a degree controls and manages these local areas. But guess what? All of these people have been put in power to manage and entrusted with the power to manage the will of the people. So if you're doing something that the majority doesn't like, that's what a democracy is all about. It shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Why do you need somebody from, say, Panjim to make decisions about how you consume? If I'm a person from Morjim, why do I need anybody from Panjim to tell me how to manage Morjim? I think I would take it upon myself to create a forum, create like an organized.
Who said that? Who said about Panjim managing Morjim?
I'm just giving an example. You don't need.
I'm talking about the government, Baba.
Like, for example, our present chief minister is from Sawantwadi. Oh, sorry, not Sawantwadi.
Sawant sir, I'm Muna. Hey, Ajoy Barreto Mutla. Sawantwadi.
Yeah, he's Sawant. So
he's not
Sawantwadi. Technically, if you go by the surnames, but essentially he's not from Morjim, for example, right? I would think somebody from Morjim would know how to manage Morjim better.
I'm agreeing with you. We're on the same page, mate.
So we should empower those kind of people.
But what if those people are screwing around?
Those people, see, the thing is, we Goans have become so greedy now. So greedy. Like, I was just thinking about, there's these picturesque boating rides in Thailand. They take you to these turquoise blue waters with these, hills and what have you. You're not allowed to go swimming there. I've seen videos where these locals stop people from going swimming.
Because they give a shit, Ajoy. They really care, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
But you're making a valid point. But how do you implement? If in Kalangut, and all of a sudden in Kalangut and Baga, you're seeing these casinos popping up everywhere. They are illegal, right? In Panjim, on the river, the boats are illegal. Joanne, you read out the 10 questions. We got to get back to that.
I haven't finished. I've got 3.
Wait, let me finish my point. What I'm saying, Ajoy, is you tasked the chief minister of Goa to implement these rules, and it has to be very strict, adhere to the rules. But if right is right, wrong is wrong, why are these boats still plying? Why are they still allowed to operate on the Mandovi River?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that becomes your big tourist attraction in Panjim, when it shouldn't be the case. You've got one of the most beautiful promenades. We talked to Rohit about this. I totally give the people in these panchayats a lot of credit, the people that are doing good, and I'm not paintbrushing everybody with the same paint. There's a lot of people that are doing good. My question is, when you have, and he mentioned these guys in Arambol, I've seen it happen in many village panchayats where the actual people in power are abusing the system. Yeah. That's my point of contention, my bone of contention. All right, let's get back to Justice Rebello.
Yeah, so actually just also picking up a little bit on Amit's point, one of the questions that Justice Rebello is actually asking is why are Goans prohibited from entering the casinos while visitors from the rest of the country are continuing to be permitted?
Who made the rule?
So that's
so you can't implement a rule that's illegal. That should be, Joanne, the majority rules. We're a democracy. You're absolutely right. And Justice Rebello is right to ask these questions. Yeah. But that's one of the lesser important questions to me.
I haven't finished yet, though.
Sweetie, why are these boats on the river? Answer. Riddle me this.
1 second.
Okay, sorry, go on.
The final 2 questions were asking whether statutory provisions relating to tourist permits and the regulation of gaming are being implemented. And this one, which is hugely important, is why has the Cabinet extended permissions up to March 2027, despite the Cabinet Secretary's note reportedly proposing a shorter period?
There you go, my love. That is $1 million question. That's my Scottish accent, mixed with a little bit of Arabic. You know what? I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get into a lot of trouble for saying this. I was a big fan of Donald Trump back in 14, 15, 16. And I thought Donald Trump, as a billionaire, as a businessman, as a person with scruples, morals, values, let him come in and drain the swamp. Mm-hmm. Boy, was I wrong. He is, and he's completely. So the point I'm trying to make is, you would think that somebody who doesn't need money, who's got all the money in the world. He wants to drain the swamp. He's seen the system being corrupted for so many years. Vote him into power. Let him change the system. That's what I want from Justice Rebello. Justice Rebello has proved himself. He's got the heritage. He's an ex-Supreme Court judge kind of thing. He's got the morals and values. He should be somebody making decisions. Unfortunately, he should be in power making the decisions. You don't want to have a politician that's a career politician making decisions because they're easily corrupted, like Donald Trump in the States, mate.
But you weren't supporting him in that at that time.
Before he was elected, sweetie.
Yeah.
I was a big, and not because I'm a fan of Donald Trump. I just thought any like an Anand Mahindra, like a big businessman, like who's proven himself over time. He's a good person, morals, values, scruples. What are the words that I want to use? So many, like, these kind of people have principles, credibility, conscious, they're conscientious, scrupulous, moral integrity, all these kind of words, right? Put them in power. But sadly, they get corrupted, right? I'm saying somebody like a Justice Rebello who's pretty old. He's got the pedigree. He's got the history. He can't be corrupted. He's the kind of person that locals need to support, get behind. Enough's enough. Put him in power and change the system. That's the only way. Mm-hmm. So when I'm talking about being an ex-fan of Donald Trump, before he was elected, Donald Trump was a character. He was a womanizer. He blah, blah,
Allegedly.
whatever. Allegedly. No, whatever. No, call a spade, dude. You grab him by the ting hole. You know what I'm saying? He was the only guy, by the way, who said it out and got away with it. And they still elected him. Anyway, long story short, we're talking about Justice Rebello and Enough's enough. This is the only hope that you have to vote, to put your power behind these people to have a change made.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, listen, we're going to hell in a handbasket, Jack.
Well, I was just going to say, at the end of everything, it's actually building up ahead of steam. They're gaining a lot of momentum. They're invoking support from religious leaders across all religions in terms of asking for people to intercede regarding the casinos on the Mandovi. The High Court has actually said that there's still that stay of execution, that new vessel is not being allowed onto the Mandovi, and explicitly saying that the government is not allowed to sanction it coming into the Mandovi. So August the 18th is when there's going to be an additional hearing. It scares me. It's really, really sad because I spoke to somebody over the week, this last week, who was telling me a lot of these deals are done so far above our heads that you'd never even know. Not the local the local panchayat. They don't have a chance. They don't have a say in hell. Screw the local Goa government. They don't have a chance in hell. These deals are done between top level ministers in parliament. Yes. And why are so many, and Amit mentioned that, right? These massive properties, huge swathes of land that are being bought over and developed, right? Yeah. And the locals can't do diddly. You can't say boo. Nothing's going to happen. You think you've got the power here locally. It's happening in TV. It's happening in the beach areas, the beach belts. It's happening in Para. It's happening in Arpora, where these properties are magically being invested in and developed by politicians. When you actually dig deeper, I can't remember who told me this story just this week, where the deals are done way up top. No local can do a damn thing about it, dude, and that's what's sad.
How do you think, Merv, that, on previously untouchable hills where you couldn't build anything, now people are getting permissions to build, right? Like if you look at the hills near what you call Reshmagos and surrounding Panaji, those were, we as Goans knew that, you can't develop those hills. They're meant for generationally to be
their environment. Yeah. Right?
But recently, these guys have been getting permissions to build there, and on what is not allowed to be built on. So who's doing these decisions? You can basically fill in the blanks, right?
But Ajay, you and I know the answer, mate. Yeah. We're dancing around, we're beating around the bush. The fact of the matter remains that's why you have politicians here locally that should stand up and do the right thing. Forget about this. Reshmagos is one, Nilaya, all these different places in TV, and all these different places. These guys are absolutely raping, plundering, and pillaging this state of ours, right? Right is wrong. right is wrong. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Just implement the rules. But the fact of the matter remains, you need somebody like a Justice Rebello with a legal background that knows the rules and regulations, that can work the system. And I'm not, listen, we're at the end of the day, I've never spoken to him. I don't need this. You're not putting this on the screen,
No,
right?
we're not, but we're not sure that you actually spoke correctly.
Don't worry about it. Nilaya here in I know the property where it's been, you wouldn't even know, it's so far buried.
No, it's hidden away, yeah.
It's hidden away. It's a politician from the South.
Yeah.
Anyway, these guys have come and invested their money and bought these massive, they've invested whatever gains, however they got the money and bought these things. And the last thing I'm going to say about this, and we're going to move on. We're not, listen, I've never met Justice Rebello. He's not paying us a penny to be talking about this. But I strongly believe if I can't make a difference, and that's our contribution by doing the show. But if I as an individual can't make a contribution, support somebody who can.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly the kind of person and the kind of questions and the kind of credibility and the scruples that you need to make sure that this doesn't keep happening, because this place is done. I couldn't give two rats you rears about this place, because I'm going to be dead and gone before all this nastiness happens to this beautiful place that the majority of us Goans, locals, Goinkars, love, and we want to save and protect, but we can't.
Yeah. So
it's sad, Joe.
Well, it is. I mean, just to mention, just regarding that huge vessel that has not been given permission to actually come to Goa as it stands, I hadn't realised that it was 112 metres long and it had the capacity for 2,000 passengers. So apparently the vessel that it was supposed to be replacing only had capacity for 70 people. And
balls.
So the
bollocks.
The one that it's replacing has only got capacity for 70. So this 2,000 is a combined capacity for all of the 5 boats that are there.
So can I ask you, why do we need another boat? Why do we need to replace anything? They shouldn't be, if it's illegal and you're talking about 12 nautical miles and they shouldn't be allowed, blah, blah, blah. Where are these decisions being made that affect us here locally, right? All that diesel fuel in the water. This is the boat, by the way. Is this on the screen?
Yes, this is the boat.
This is the boat, guys. Listen, I as a what is it called? What are they called? They go in caravel, cruising boats, as a cruise ship.
Cruise ship,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Bring it in, bring the tourists in, take the tourists out, do all you can. We don't need another casino boat this size, do we? So the point I'm trying to make is these deals are being done and we're like a bunch of donkeys here on the ground thinking that we can make a difference. And we're fighting over it. RTI activists appeals to the Brahmishnanda Charya Swamiji to support casino-free campaign. The High Court stay on casino vessels at the Mandovi hearing on the 18th of August. Retired Justice Rebello raises questions on the casinos. Listen, all these things are interrelated, and unless somebody with any kind of power steps in and says right is right, all these religious leaders, they can help because they can sway people's opinions and consciences, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is a massive problem that's absolutely swallowing up Goa.
Yeah.
And sadly enough, you people here locally think that you can make the change and control this. This is being done in very high levels of politics. And you need to support Justice Rebello, and these guys can make that change. All right, enough of it. Yeah, go on.
You support Justice Rebello and make a change with your vote, man.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Because if you're not doing that, you are the problem, and you actually, I have to say it, you are corrupt. There's no other things to say.
You're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem.
If you really have good intentions for Goa, you would vote for the right kind of people.
Here's a joke. 32 tourists find an illegal trekking along a railway track in Dudhsagar Falls.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to implement these kind of rules, and they shouldn't be on the tracks anyway, but dude.
I just wanted to just say that enough is enough. They're actually appealing for people to come out and support at the Azad Maidan. They've called for a meeting either on the 13th. There's one meeting that I saw.
Can you pull this website up? Pull the website, put it on the screen. Yeah. So if people want to join, people want to help, people want to get involved. There is an actual website. No.
Yeah, enough is enough.
What?
The Enough is Enough website.
How hard is it to pull it up? You want me to type for
hard.
it? Is it hard?
It is hard.
My God, dude.
Don't worry.
No, never mind. No, don't worry about it. What? Go on, say what you're saying.
I was just saying that, remember the Azerbaijan meeting was cancelled previously. That's why they did their meeting online. So I'm not sure whether it's on the 13th or the 17th because
they've got a website now. You can find out more. Is this the website?
Yeah.
What is this? Is there a web page? Is there a website?
It's the Enough website. It's called enoughgoa.com.
So go and get details about it. Support these guys. They're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Ferdino Rebello, Justice Ferdino Rebello. There's a lot of information about him and what he's trying to do. Get involved, guys.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we need. Okay. What are we moving on to? Let's move on.
Yeah, we're just literally just touching on it that there was 32 tourists were fined 500 rupees each for trespassing on the railways in order to get to the Dudhsagar waterfall through the forest and all. Yeah.
They're breaking the rules. They get fined.
Yeah.
Simple as that. They need to pay those fines. You shouldn't be doing that. There's got to be a better way to get to the Dudhsagar Falls, though. I'm sure there are.
You'd hope so.
These are beautiful falls, dude. Look at the train in the foreground.
It's actually one of the wonders of India, if you ask me. And yeah, you know what? Everything, again, people want to do trekking, illegal. You want to build a hotel, it's all illegal. Just do it right, guys. Vote right, follow the rules. And then you know what? You will see this country flourish. Really, you will.
Easier said than done. I hope you've got a magic wand because it doesn't happen that way.
I do. I have a magic wand. It's called my vote. That's what it's called.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Merv Britto Show. Listen, at the end of the day, these are contentious topics. We're going to talk about them anyway because we need to. This is our way of contributing, giving back. So this show is all about making people aware, but it's our own opinions. We want to have a laugh, but a lot of the stuff is very serious.
Yeah.
You're watching the show, and the opinions expressed on this show are opinions of the people expressing them and not the expressed or implied opinions of the Merv Britto Show. They're going to be contentious topic, and there's going to be people that have opinions either way, but we need to talk about these, Joanne. Joy, we need to make these topics and these newsworthy stories. More people need to be aware of what's going on.
I think we are doing our job. I think people have to call in and talk about it with us. Right?
Yeah, but anyway, we're running way behind schedule. What are we talking about next?
I was just going to say I was not aware that on the 10th of July it was the National Fish Farmers Day 2026.
On the 10th of July.
Yeah, so the CM actually announced ID cards for traditional fish vendors and fishermen to protect Goan livelihoods. So
good initiative. Mm-hmm. How does that work? What is it going to do?
So they're basically saying they want to protect food security, and you have got to have been resident here in Goa for 15 years in order to qualify, or maybe even working in the fishing industry for that kind of level of time. So it's trying to protect the traditional fishing communities, so that that people aren't necessarily just coming in.
Okay, it's a good thing. I don't know. Is this specifically for the vendors buying, selling their fish, or is it for the fishermen out there fishing so that you can identify boats that are legally allowed to fish within our waters? And I think it may be just the vendors.
It's both.
Is it both?
Yeah.
Good initiative. Great initiative. If it's going to protect the locals, it's going to help the locals survive.
Yes.
Okay. What else? Let's talk about. Listen. Are we going to get to the World Cup?
Well, yeah, we were going to talk about the World Cup, sort of dovetailing a little bit or shoehorning in the fact that one of the gems of India has actually spoken about one of the French victories, that maybe he kind of put his foot in it in the way he expressed his appreciation for the French team and how they'd actually achieved their victory. I
want to know. So I'm really curious. So Amitabh Bachchan's FIFA World Cup post on France sparks debate over race and football. What would Amitabh Bachchan say that pissed people off, dude? He's Amitabh Bachchan. What did he say?
Well, you can see it on screen now.
Put it on there.
He says T5794. I don't know if this is his real tweet, but it looks like it. T5794. Ab kahe dete hai. The French World Cup 2026 football team. The French. 11 players in team. 10 black, 1 white. The power of black.
Is this, first of all, they put a picture of Amitabh Bachchan, so we're blaming the poor guy. But was it actually something that he said? Because this is not very smart.
Allegedly, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But if he has said it, then he would kick up a storm, I would think.
He would kick up a storm because that's stupidity, that's silliness. No, I mean everybody can see players, whether you're black, brown, white, it doesn't make a difference if you've got the skill, right? Mm-hmm. We were having this debate in the studio earlier. We were talking about the World Cup and what Amitabh Bachchan has said. If he has said that, I don't know if he said that, but dude, it's not about the race or the color of your skin. And that's what kept this damn country down the way it is, because of people are so conscious about race, caste, creed, religion, and all these BS, focus on the good things. They're blaming this poor guy, right? Amitabh Bachchan reflects on mistake after France team tweets backlash.
So people were talking about the fact that he was saying he was praising the team's diversity, but others were saying they were criticising him for reducing footballers
by race
to their race rather than recognising their athleticism and their abilities.
But I asked the question, if he's stating a fact, what's wrong? Right?
Is it stating a fact is one thing. Okay. Is it making a deal about something? Listen, we talked about this earlier. The French team, there's a lot of black. And it's not like people don't talk about it. People are scared to talk about the fact that in every goddamn team you've got, in the Japanese team, you've got a black goalie all of a sudden, right?
Right.
The point is, so what?
It's got nothing to do.
You mentioned about genes, which is absolutely true, valid, whatever the case may be, right?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's the person that creates or hones and works hard to hone that talent. It's not about genes, dude.
No, it is. I think genetics can make a huge difference on the playing field. Obviously, it's not the only factor, but the fact of the matter is that France is performing very, very well because it's allowed immigrants who, from their former colonies, mind you, who are contributing and winning, on the global stage, and the French love them for it. So what's wrong with that? That's nothing wrong with it, right?
A majority of them were born in France anyway.
They are. You have to.
That's also there, right?
Yeah. So the thing is, there has been a huge controversy also because this senator from Paraguay was racially abusing Kylian Mbappe because of his Cameroon heritage, and he was... the way he came out, he was very diplomatic in the way that he approached it and didn't really want to give the woman oxygen on that front. And you shouldn't, But at the end of the day, you've still got people that have harboring, sort of bad
listen, you're absolutely right. There's a lot of black players. In the NBA, you've got the majority are black players. Jeans, sneakers, socks, call it what you will. At the end of the day, somebody's got to work their tails off. And it's a little bit of luck involved, but it's 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. Somebody like Erling Haaland.
Yeah.
Think about it. He ain't got no black. Listen, mama been traveling, boy, and daddy don't know about it. That boy's all white. The whole Norwegian team yesterday, I don't think they've got a black player.
No, but they got Viking genes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but now that's another thing.
Dude,
right?
it's about the genes.
Stop. Listen, well, you mean to tell me in 1.5 billion people, we ain't got no genes here to put together a team?
There's what God gave you, and then that's hard work as well. Yes, I agree.
It's primarily hard work, training, diet. Can I ask you a question? Something that was brought to my attention this week, and I'd never known this before. Do you know why the French team is so successful? Ajo, you mentioned because they're all black.
No, I never.
Or the genes, or whatever, the black genes, and the immigrants and all that kind of stuff, right?
I'm just saying that they obviously have a system in place which hones talent and genetics as well. If that can be brought together, you will have a world-beating team like they have now, and they've had for some time now.
So can I tell you what I learned this week, and it blew my mind? Yes, you're absolutely right. After the French got tired of getting their butts kicked by a lot of the other the Italians, the English, the blah, 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 they established a facility in France.
Yep.
They've got about 12, 15, I don't know. I heard about this. I read a little bit about it, but there's a place called Clairefontaine.
Yeah.
Clairefontaine selects the elite of the elite. There's 20 athletes, young people between the ages of 13 and 15 that can get selected, and all expenses paid. Your kit, your clothes, your food, your stay, your everything. And that's how you generate, or that's how you make people great. They've actually focused on a problem. There are multiple places around France. Yeah. The academy is one of 16 elite academies located around France, are supervised by the French Football Federation, right? Clairefontaine puts out, look at these guys. These kids are started at 13 to 15. You got to be minimum 13 years old. You can apply at 12, but between 13 and 15, the Football Federation took it seriously because they got tired of getting their asses kicked.
Yeah.
And look at the results.
Well, Mbappe went there. So
not just Mbappe. Think of the French team. They're killing it. They've got 5, 6, 7. All of their players could be a superstar anywhere in the world.
But basically, it's the academy system. It's basically like having a scholarship. So you're going to be educated and you're going to be trained as well. So they're honing the skills and they're investing the money in the young talent that can actually provide success on the football pitch and create good feeling around the country, all of that kind of stuff.
Joanne, we talked about this, and the reason I'm mentioning this, and the reason I mentioned Clairefontaine, by the way, is because of Yash. We spoke about Yash Fateh. He mentioned if you have a special facility, the U.S. has done it after many, many years. By the way, their team has advanced so much over the last couple of decades because they actually focused on making a change, right? Yeah. When I spoke to Yash, he said, why don't we have a facility in Goa that focuses on helping squash players? Yeah. You got yoga institutes, you got all these facilities and that encourage people to. Why does India not, when India has this many people and we can't even put together a football team, right? Why don't people do what the French and all these other countries are doing to make that change? By the way, Ajo, a bit of trivia. The French won their World Cup in 1998. Do you know when they started this Clairefontaine, this academy? Just 10 years before that. In 88, really? Clairefontaine was launched.
Wow, that's amazing.
But you need leaders. You need people in power that can actually see a need to make a change for the future, right? You invest that money and time now, so you see the results in 5, 10, 20 years. Yash plays squash for the country. He gets no support. The money's there. We pay for it, but it's not getting to them. But if a country genuinely wants to be proud of your athletes, use the money and do the change, make the changes happen, do the things that you can actually see the results in 5, 7, 10, 20 years.
Yeah, but you see what happens is the football academy situation is something that's well established in Europe. And obviously our friend Mark knows an awful lot more about this.
We should call Mark about that.
But what the point I'm making is that these top clubs, they actually have their own academies. So they're running these academies and then they're training these young kids so that they can go on to get places in the first team, and they can help them win trophies. They can help them win championships, Champions Leagues, national leagues, all of that. And then when the time is right, they also can generate revenue from them when they sell them on to other clubs.
But the point is that you need, just like running a state of Goa, by the way, and or a mayor like Rohit, Monserrate and Panjim, you've got to have a problem that you actually care about fixing, that you want to fix, right? So you need a sports minister, you need somebody in governance who's going to say, you know what, we need to do this. This is the plan. Measure 50 times, cut once. Start these academies all around the countries and have one supreme academy somewhere, wherever it may be, where all these, you can funnel, you can filter these people that come through, and you can put together soccer teams, you can put together basketball teams, squash players, you can table tennis, you name the sport, right? But why is that not happening? And people are not asking these questions. People are not embarrassed. People are not pissed off that our Olympic team's a joke. Look at a country like France. Look at a country like China. China's got so many Olympic athletes in every sport because they actually focus on wanting to get better now.
Just yesterday, who was playing? Was it the Wimbledon's women's singles?
Czechoslovakia.
Yeah,
and who was the? I think the opponent was from China.
No, they were both Czechoslovakian.
Both the women's finals.
There must be some other match, but I saw a Chinese young tennis player. I think it must have been the semi-finals. Then, if you're saying the finals.
Yesterday were the women's finals in Wimbledon. They were both Czech players.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying that China is producing a lot of athletes. You know that they do very well in the Olympics. That's because they have a program themselves. They want to succeed on the world stage. They want to prove that they are good at everything. And you know,
they're proud, Ajoy.
trust me, when you do that, a country gets people get up and notice. They take notice of the country, right?
No. I'm saying to you, look at the size of China. Look at it in proportion to the number of people that go and represent China in all the different disciplines, right?
Yeah.
And that's absolutely fine. Look at some of these. You got countries like Cape Verde that are in the World Cup, guys.
Yeah.
Come on. And that's, I'm going to go on and on about this. Stop me now. But that's absolutely the point I'm trying to make, is if you don't, a country like France, you can say the color of their skin, the athletes, the genes, whatever the case may be, but they've actually taken something seriously, figured out there was a problem. Everybody else around us is killing it, and we're getting screwed. Let's do something about it. And they've done it. From 88, when they launched Clairefontaine, when it was opened, they won their World Cup 10 years later. 1998, right?
Yep.
So somebody's got to see a need, a niche, a requirement, and solve the problem. And you can do it. It can be done, no? Okay. So Amitabh Bachchan said that it's a silly thing. I don't think it should. We're not going to give it oxygen. Yeah. Move along.
I don't think he meant it in a really horrible way or anything like that.
I don't think so either.
He didn't mean it in that
I don't think so either. Speaking of people that serve in a country, making a country proud, there were some European lawmakers. Was it European? Where was this? Thousands of forgotten Punjabi World War I soldiers.
That's a different matter.
Recognized for the first time.
Yes.
That is something so cool. Our Punjabi soldiers in World War I.
Yeah.
Which country?
So this is from Great Britain. So essentially, I'd seen a news report on the BBC earlier on in the week, and it's 10,000, just nearly 10,000 Punjabi soldiers from World War I actually died. So there was 1.4 million people served from what was termed the subcontinent, India, Pakistan and Bangladesh. And that was in World War I itself. And so in terms of the numbers of people, there was about, as I say, 1.4 million that actually served. And apparently there was about 430,000 or so after the war had finished. There was officials just trying to find out what was the fate of these people. So there were some records, but they were quite disjointed and stuff like that. And essentially a whole load of Punjabi people in the UK have got together and they've been kind of collaborating.
That's half the UK population now. If you get a holiday in Punjab, the Heathrow shuts down or something now. They closed down the airport. I think that's really great that they actually recognize you Brits. I tell you what, mate, I want that Koh-i-Noor diamond back, by the way. It's on her crown and I want it back. No, I'm just kidding. Listen, that's a great thing because these guys have given their lives. A lot of them have given their ultimate sacrifice and they should be recognized. Yeah. Did you hear what PM Modi said, by the way, in Australia? About the milk at home may be Australian, but the tea brewed is Indian. Is that true? Is that what he actually said?
Supposedly so, yeah. It said, we Indians keep infusing the world with the essence of our love. So apparently Indians like to make it sweeter because with the sugar intake as well. So you also have to be a little bit careful about diabetes, I think. But apparently, yeah, that's what he was giving that message because he was on a bit of a tour. He went to Australia. He went to
What's he say? PM Modi says the milk at home might be Australian, but the tea brewed is Indian. 8 government-approved Indian tea varieties to try. Yeah. You're the man, dude. Mm-hmm. He was in Australia, yeah?
Yeah, but there's some landmark deals and pacts on nuclear energy and defence, so there was a more serious element to that. So, of course, he was welcomed very well over there, and obviously a lot of the Indian community.
Let him come to Goa. We got some chai for him, dude. We got different varieties of chai over here. It's not foreign. It's our local chai. You know what I'm saying? I that's great. I think somebody asked him, or somebody put forth the question: why does he not answer reporters? Right? There was something funny
oh my gosh, it's following him there.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. What was that about?
It started in Europe when he had gone to, which country was that, Joanne? You're the person to help us with this.
I've forgotten. I think
it was Finland, one of the Norwegian.
Scandinavian.
Yes, Scandinavian countries. Mm-hmm. So I think that's going to follow him now. I think he has to, get on a mic and just speak like Donald Trump. I say. Yeah.
Don't speak like Donald Trump, man. Don't speak like Donald. But I'm saying, you know what? He travels the world and he does his thing. He's the PM. I just wish that he would be a little bit more approachable. He seems very stiff, dude. If you're representing this country, you need to be What's the word? Give me one word.
A man of the people.
No, you got to be flamboyant. Not flamboyant.
He's flamboyant, right?
He's not flamboyant.
Charismatic.
Charismatic. There's a good word that I liked. Narendra Modi ji, if your team's watching, he needs to be more charismatic. You're representing a country of many, many billion, over 1.5 billion people kind of thing. Look at these European leaders, or these all are Indian leaders, right? The fact of the matter remains he needs to represent this country and just make India less stiff. By the way, speaking of really, really cool Indians, I've never heard this. Have you ever heard the name Anand Mahindra?
Oh, who's this guy? Oh my God, I never heard of him.
He's one of my favorite people. Anand Mahindra is the big boy at Mahindra. So he salutes an Irishman, an 80-year-old Irishman, for restoring Jodhpur's forgotten stepwells.
Yeah.
Anand Mahindra is a legend, dude. He's been at the helm of the Mahindra company, correct? This story came out, and I wanted to talk about this. An 80-year-old Irishman he actually saluted an 80-year-old Irishman in Jodhpur.
So he's called Karen Rawnsley, this Irish guy. So he'd first visited Jodhpur in 2014, and he was shocked by the neglected stepwells and began restoring them.
And this is on his own dime, yeah? He was not being, there's nothing he's getting from it. He just did it out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, so he's known locally as Pagal Saab, and he spent...
Pagal Saab. Mad.
I know. Oh, you gave it away.
It is what it is.
I was going to ask her what Pagal was about.
What you know what Pagal means? Tell me, Joe.
No, you tell me.
Pagal Saab. It's not Pagal, by the way. It's Pagal Saab. They're calling him Mad Sir.
Okay.
Because he's somebody from somewhere else that does a job that nobody else would do. Yeah. But you know what? I think that's
with his own hands, apparently.
Yeah. That speaks volumes, right? This old dude. And kudos to Anand Mahindra by the way, for saluting. Anand Mahindra is a big deal, dude.
Of course.
Pagal Saab, thank you, sir. I what's his name? I can't pronounce it. What the hell's the dude's name? Rawnsley. What's his name?
Karen or
Is
Karen.
It Karan?
Rawnsley.
Yeah.
So, it's basically saying that sometimes it just takes somebody else to bring something to our awareness and actually just make us think, well, why aren't I doing the same thing, or why am I not doing my own bit?
I'm just going back to our conversation with Amit very quickly. He was talking about creating an eco village or eco zone, was he?
Yeah.
And you had such a place in Auroville. Have you heard of Auroville in Pondicherry?
Yep.
So over there, you have a number of people who have tried to live off the grid, self-sustainable, and there are a lot of people like Mr. Rawnsley here who have dedicated their lives to developing their place. So it can be done. And they're very successful. In fact, they were in a little bit of trouble recently because the government was trying to take away the land that they had developed over generations.
You're talking about Auroville?
In Auroville and Pondicherry, and they were trying to cut down trees, and these guys were trying to, protect the trees from being cut.
The locals,
the people from Auroville, and the government, I think, started sending people back home. Some of these guys who've lived here maybe 40, 50 years, who have brought their life savings from Germany, etc., plowed it into Auroville to develop it. And because they were not complying with what the government wanted, they sent them back home to nothing. They don't even have family anymore. They left there.
Oh.
That's sad, no? And sadly, you need somebody from Ireland to come here and start cleaning up your mess.
Yes.
And it's so hats off to this guy. I don't know his name. Mention his name one more time. Give him a shout out.
Karen Rawnsley.
He's 80 years old. And kudos, a shout out to Mahindra, Mr. Anand Mahindra, for saluting somebody who's doing something great in our own backyard, in our own country. Let's get to the final part of the show, Joe.
Well, I was just going to say, there was a sobering story that I'd come across earlier on in the week, which was basically saying that China is sentencing a former city official to death for taking...
What?
For taking $325 million worth of bribes.
That's the way to stop somebody from doing it. Mate, this guy would get a job here if he was here in India.
Mervyn, don't even say that. This guy...
He's been sentenced. So China doesn't play around, dude.
No.
He's a politician. He's an official, a former city official, to death for taking $325 million
in
bribes.
So he's called Yang Yulin. and he served in various positions in Nanjing City from 1993 till 2023. And it's saying that he'd exploited his roles to help others secure engineering contracts, land transfers, financing in exchange for money, valuables, and
Holy shit.
That sounds like India, but only thing you don't have the death penalty for corruption, right?
Dude, if you had the death penalty for any kind of corruption here in India, you'd have an empty parliament house, boy.
Yeah.
You'd have an empty chamber. You'd have... No, I'm not... listen, I'm going to get in trouble. That's a way you can't do this, dude. You're not supposed to do this. And if you do this and you get caught, you get screwed. Mm-hmm. In China, of all places.
Terrible.
If she would, as a dictator.
You mean Xi Jinping, not she?
I'm calling him she. I can't pronounce the rest of it. Ping, whatever. What I'm saying to you, this is as a dictatorship. You get caught. These Chinese don't play around, dude. Mm-hmm. You need stricter laws here in India, though. If you really want to make a change, if you really care, you would put these these laws in place and implement these rules. No.
I mean, obviously, this is extremely extreme. I don't necessarily agree with it.
And it can be used. It can be used against people who don't want to conform in a communist society.
Yeah.
I don't understand. What are you saying?
In the sense, if you don't play by the rules that the Communist Party plays by, and you ruffle a few feathers, you may actually be accused of corruption. And
like in Hong Kong.
Yeah,
but I'm saying to you, that's a different thing. We're talking about a corrupt politician.
Yeah.
He's been sentenced. He's been caught for doing what he was not supposed to do. I don't know about the other stuff in going on, which we don't know. But I'm saying this is a good example to set, right?
So what happened to this guy, the founder of Alibaba? Where is he now?
Not a clue.
Nobody knows.
He's on a carpet somewhere flying through the air, man. I don't know.
He was China's first billionaire. And apparently he again, rubbed the Communist Party the wrong way. And we don't see him anymore.
But this kind of he's around, dude. These kind of things happen it's happened in Russia. Who was that guy that got listen, they went after him, dude. He got injected and he died, right? Yeah. The billionaire. Because in a communist country, you can't speak against the big boys, the big dogs,
yes.
The people running the country. So in China, in Russia, all these kind of places, you don't have the freedoms that we appreciate, that we take for granted here. But at the end of the day, it also comes with a lot of the baggage that you have to deal with, right?
So
we've got rampant corruption here in this country.
Yeah. So whether it's a communist nation or you have a nation like a democratic nation like India, it's the poor people that suffer. Corruption still rules in some way or the other, right?
Dude, why don't you change the system and do something that works somewhere else? In Europe and a lot of these Scandinavian countries, I mean, it's a tall order because these are a lot smaller places.
Yes.
But if you genuinely want to solve a problem, Ajoy, there's a solution to every problem out there.
You have to
except cancer yet.
You have to become a welfare society and really take care of everybody. Like there has to be like a common denominator. A high taxation system, spend it on your people, and you will reduce corruption.
Let's start with a simple problem like stable electricity or stable internet, or the garbage problem before we try to solve world all these big. It's sad because if you really cared about it, with the age of technology and science nowadays, you can solve every problem. Speaking of science, did you hear about this? A U.S. scientist used Chinese humanoid robot.
Yes.
To perform keyhole surgery. A robot's doing the surgery now.
Yeah. So apparently the robot was named Sergey, and it took
Sergey.
Surgery.
Okay.
So it actually took the place of the lead surgeon. So it was human surgeons were actually controlling it, but these robots actually took the place of the lead surgeon, and they were actually removing organs from a pig.
Wow.
So this is just showing how technology is really moving apace.
I think I read somewhere that Neuralink performed a surgery.
What's Neuralink?
Neuralink is Elon Musk's
Starlink.
Yeah, no.
Neuralink.
Neuralink is where they embed a chip in their brain to allow you. They help people who are paraplegics, allow them to live a normal life almost.
Especially able people.
Yes.
Okay.
So they've performed a surgery recently where they didn't have to remove a film that's on top of your brain under your skull, which was never done ever before. They're able to do that through this process. I don't know, some other process. So we're going into new territory. It looks like.
I wonder if they can use this kind of technology to solve the problems we have here in our little old India, mate. If it's going to happen, it's bound to happen. Yes. And the leaps and bounds in technology and science are going to make huge changes. And it's not every 50 years or every 40 years or every 10 years, or it's happening by the year kind of thing. Yeah. This is amazing. They're able to perform surgery. Willie, you could be a doctor. You're a tech person, right?
Yes.
Listen, how cool is that robots are able to perform surgery, Willie? You can manage that robot, no?
Yes.
A bit faster than that, though, maybe.
No, the robot's faster than Willie. Willie's like flipping molasses fast. That's really cool, and something that you can solve any problems. Technology and science nowadays can solve. You know what? There's another really last few stories I want to talk about. Japan relocates a centuries-old tree instead of cutting them down for development. Yeah. I wish we could do something like that here with the way that things are going here with development.
Absolutely.
Speak about this. This is really cool.
Just show the image on the screen, because this is amazing where they're just moving one tree. This is a practice that's called nemawashi.
What?
Nemawashi.
Nemawashi.
Yes. So essentially what they have to do is they have to look after the roots. So they have to make sure that if they're going to be transferring the trees. So these are some very old trees with a lot of heritage, maybe trees that have been on religious sites or really important places in Japan.
Wow.
And they can sometimes be working on it for up to about a year in order to make sure that where they're transporting the tree to can actually take to the soil and everything. So it's quite an entailed process. But I know for a fact that some amazing, gorgeous trees here have just completely gone.
Vanished. I love the Japanese people. I tell you what, I love the Japanese people and their culture. Just like they stayed behind after the World Cup games and cleaned up the stadium or helped clean the stadiums. Kids are taught at a young age to do the right thing, put garbage litter in its place, recycle, protect the environment.
Yeah.
They would actually give a shit about an old tree and take the trouble to spend a year to shift it.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen over here?
We already know what happens here. They cut it up.
We'll make
chop it up and spew it out as it's because they don't care.
This place will never change, and I'm saying it's all about the education. If you teach a child what they need to do, global warming, climate change, protecting the environment, put garbage in its place. We need more educators. We need facilities where people can learn and get trained and excel.
Yeah.
You need to revamp your education system. You need to completely listen. We're getting left behind. If robots are performing surgery, our kids here in our schools, in our shalas, in our education system are getting left behind. And your minister of education can't even, what was it, Sikkim? He couldn't pronounce Sikkim or couldn't spell Sikkim? That's a scary thought, no? We need to find somebody out there who we need to get a teacher in here and figure out a way to make sure that people understand that how important education, and not only education, but being able to support children to learn and the different ways, the different methods of teaching.
Yeah.
That you can be on the same playing field of any country, first world, second world country around the world, but it's not happening here. And how do we make that change? You know what I'm saying? These Japanese people are spending so much time to save a tree, millions of dollars, because they actually care.
Yeah.
Okay, one quick story I want to talk about very quickly. Ryanair passenger partially sucked out of a window during flight from Greece.
Yes, it's a little bit scary.
How the hell does that happen, dude?
So the plane was on its way to Germany from Thessalonica in Greece, and there was a partially broken window, and it's saying that somebody was...
You got video footage. Put it on.
Yeah.
Dude!
Right, you can continue talking.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you that you can see the lady's hair flying, right? So the window's obviously cracked.
Yeah.
But how did that plane how was that plane allowed to take off? Because they pressurized the cabin, no?
Yeah.
What happened, Joanne?
Goodness only knows. I mean, obviously wasn't on the plane. So I'm just reading the reports here that they had already taken off and they were on their way to Germany. And so they actually had to turn around and come back because the passenger was partially sucked out of there. So it was a Boeing 737 flight from Ryanair.
So how did that happen, though? What was the emergency door opened, or?
No, I don't think it's emergency. It's out of the window, no?
It says that when a passenger window dislodged
Oh my God.
in flight. So it had a bit of a crack in it. And so
My
I would have
gosh.
thought with the pressure, because there was already.
Yeah, but you're lucky that it didn't do more damage. no?
And somebody got sucked out of that.
Almost midway, nearly sucked out, Ajoy. Nearly sucked out.
Thank God. I was thinking the worst, but I'll tell you, always keep your seat belts on when you're in the plane. Always. If you can manage that. Even if the seatbelt signs come off, I always keep my seatbelt on.
100 rupees for you for that tidbit, that really good bit of advice. What if I got to go to the toilet, Ajoy?
Then you can make the move, but make it quick. And come back and put your seatbelt on.
All right, I'm done. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I want to get. Listen, let's end the show about the World Cup, dude. This is once every 4 years.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gripe about the World Cup. Where do you want to start? I'm pissed off about the Egypt-Argentina match. I'm pissed off about the VAR system. Mm-hmm. I'm pissed off that...
What about Balogun's red card being suspended for the match?
What a goddamn shitstorm, dude. Why would Donald Trump call... I hate that. I really dislike that goddamn FIFA president, by the way. He's got no backbone. He's an amoeba. He's like a spineless jellyfish. He gave Donald Trump his Peace Award or something, right?
Yeah.
So if Donald Trump calls you, means you can make the red card evaporate.
Yeah. I mean, the thing
How?
is, supposedly Trump had actually called him 3 times relating to, it's been reported by The Guardian in the UK that apparently he'd called 3 times regarding the actual issue itself. So essentially it was very harsh that he'd been given this red card.
It was a mistake. It was a mistake. What he did was unintentional, but it was still a foul.
But why did they not overturn it? All of a sudden,
go.
what they did was they actually suspended it for a year. Now, in the same week that an English defender, Gerald Quansah, he actually also got a red card in the game against Mexico. So in that very same week, his red card meant that he was going to be
Suspended for 2 games.
2 matches.
But Joanne, that's what I'm saying to you. Joanne, I'm asking you this question. Why is Donald Trump able to influence Infantino?
Oh.
He's the man. Look at him. Look at him. You know what? They're like mates, dude.
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is Balogun is a great player. He made a mistake, whatever.
Yeah.
It could be Messi, it could have been Ronaldo, anybody, right? He made a mistake. Fine, it's bookable, right?
Yeah.
And if you give him the red card, he's suspended for a year.
Yeah.
Understood. Done deal. He can't play the next match.
Yeah.
But if you realize it was a mistake, you could turn it over, right?
Of course.
Why would you suspend and kick the can down the road for a year?
I know, and that's the crazy thing, because at the end of the day, in the next year or so, there's unlikely to be any World Cup qualifying matches. So it really doesn't make any difference to the World Cup in the future.
These guys are screwing it up, dude.
Yeah, and so there's European lawmakers, apparently, they're planning to investigate the FIFA president, Gianni Infantino.
They should.
Because they're just basically saying there's been too many decisions that have been made that are just, there's no consistency. You saw that Egypt are essentially saying that it's rigged because they had their goal disallowed and Argentina went on to win the match. And there's been many, many instances whereby some of these goals have been overturned or the VAR has been inconsistent. And there's apparently people in FIFA are also a bit embarrassed by the fact.
I'll tell you what, though. Yes, what happened to this red card scenario with the US and Belgium, that was really crazy. I think all the rules went out of the window because Donald Trump called and asked for a favor. But when it comes to the Egypt-Argentina match, I think they officiated beautifully. I think it was by the book. And I think you guys are just sore losers because Argentina went forward in the
who's a sore loser?
Whoever else is criticizing.
No, bollocks, bullshit. That's not true.
That
is so not true, dude. At the end of the day, right is right, is wrong is wrong. You break a rule, you get a card, yellow, red, whatever the case may be. Follow the rules. Just like we're not. So I'm supporting multiple teams. The point I'm trying to make is, VAR is there to assist, is there to help. At the end of the day, you got a damn human making the decision anyway. If you've done something that is wrong or made a mistake or whatever, use judgment. Mm-hmm. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If it's malicious, if it's intentional, whatever the case may be, it makes a difference, right? But I'm saying to you, if you been given a red card, Balogun was given a red card for something he did, was fine. He got the red card. Suck it up. He's out for the next match, right? Why would you suspend it for a year rather than turn it over? Yeah. Or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And what happens to the next countryman or somebody else from another country that gets a red card? Yeah. Does he get to make a call and change that?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
So you open up a can of worms, no?
Like the English defender, again, he did get the ball, but his boot was actually high. So they're saying it was a justified red card. Yes, fair enough. But why give him a suspension for 2 matches now? You know, instead of just the 1 match, which is what it was supposed to be. So, I mean, there's a lot of inconsistencies, you know, and goals being disallowed and minor infractions, coming back 110 yards back down the pitch for a minor infraction and disallowing, you know, some of these other goals that have, you know, gone ahead.
It's sad. It's very sad because it really scars. It's something so beautiful. I was already pissed off initially when tickets and pricing and all was ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I was pissed off because the time zones. You can't do anything about the time zones, but we've had to stay up and watch matches at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Yeah. Pricing is ridiculous. Infantino, you should be ashamed. Y'all need to change this goddamn FIFA president. It is an absolute crime and a shame that so many bad things are happening to something that can be so pure. Yeah. Something so fun can unite, bring people together. Yeah. And instead, it's very sad.
But you see, they're saying that FIFA is turning out to be the winner because the 2 semi-finals have got the top 4 seeds.
Yeah, correct.
What do you mean? I don't understand.
So it's the top 4 seeds in the whole competition are in the semi-finals. So it's France against Spain and it's England against Argentina, and they're the top 4 seeds.
Fine, whatever the case may be. It used to be always Italy. They were always in the finals.
Not always.
Well, but whatever the case, you know what? You've done your thing. You've played each other, good matches, bad matches, goals, fouls, whatever the case may be. Let that play it out. Let that play itself out. Don't have these knobs that are actually trying to involve human intervention is screwing up this beautiful sport that we love so much. Speaking of which, we talk about this place that we also love so much. This brings us to the end of another show. I'm tired. Ajoy, we do the show live because we are so passionate about this place we call home.
Yep.
The whole idea with doing the show is just like everything else that we talk about on here. We want to bring people's attention to stuff that's happening out there with our own little take, have a laugh about it, but you're educating people in the process. It's funny because I meet so many people, and thank you, by the way. I'm not going to mention all of you guys, but thank you so much for the kind things you say, some of the critical things, some of the things that make fun of me. I appreciate it all, and we do this for that specific reasons. We're going to do the show. We do the show every Sunday. We've had somebody reach out, or somebody that I want to highlight. We're going to have guests from time to time that we want to highlight and speak to about different things that we can actually make a difference in this place. Mm-hmm. We'll plan those out. We'll promote them properly, but I really firmly believe in education and how education can be the biggest change this country, not just the state, but this country needs to see. We need to revamp, invest heavily in. If you're ever going to be a competitor, or you're going to be equalizing on a world stage, if you're going to have people compete, our kids are so far behind. Our country is so far behind in so many things. And yes, we are ahead in a lot of things. But overall, when you look at India and the potential that this beautiful country, this beautiful state of Goa, where we could actually be, and sadly, because of education, because of corruption, because of politics, because of our judicial system, we're so far behind. We really need to make changes, and fast. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings you to the end of another show. I hope you've enjoyed what we do. Go on.
I just want to say, come on, England on Wednesday.
Come on, England.
Yeah, because
That's going to be a fire match because of the history.
England and who's playing England?
Argentina.
Who's going to win?
England.
I think Argentina, actually.
I've got to support England because my wife is a big England dude. She screams, "Get out!" What do you scream, sweetie?
I'm not saying what I scream.
Oh my
You
God!
have to do that for self-preservation. I understand.
But it's. I love Argentina. I love Lionel Messi. I'm a big fan. It's nice to have such a massive event, and sadly, it happens only every 4 years. But that's what makes it all the more special.
Yeah, he didn't score yesterday.
Lionel Messi didn't score.
But I tell you what, he was what, 39?
40.
You know, Ronaldo is 40. He's 39. Messi is 39.
Messi's younger.
Messi's 38 and Ronaldo's 41.
But I think Ronaldo still got it. Messi still got a little bit of his magic.
Yeah.
I didn't see that with Ronaldo, sadly, this time. And I'm glad he's retired. I think, he was... I think it was time. It was. So, yeah, it's France-Spain on Tuesday and it's England-Argentina on Wednesday. Bangers, man. Bangers.
Good games. Tuesday and Wednesday, yeah?
Yep.
2 games. Semi-finals of the World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, as that brings us to the end of another show, as always, this is an interactive show. We love to hear from you. We love your support. And if you like what we do, support us. Put those on the screen one last time. We would love to hear from you. Please check out our social media handles. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. We'll be here next Sunday.
And also, like Amit, give us a call.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was uncalled for. That was unplanned, but it was a welcome change. Amit, if you're out there, thank you for calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to call in, 750-724-6246. Send us a message. Leave us a note. We'd read it out on the air if you're too shy to come on the air, but you're more than welcome to come on the air with us. That brings us to the end of another show. We'll be back here bright and early next Sunday, 6 p.m. live. People wonder sometimes, they ask me, do you really do this live on the air? We're doing this live right now. Mm-hmm. So, it's sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's ugly, but we do this because we've got a passion and this is the only way we can give back. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Until next Sunday. Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say that France are playing their semi-final on Bastille Day, which is a huge day for them.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's their independence, right? Bastille
Day? Could be a date with destiny for them. Let's see.
Until next week, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. This is Merv Britto on behalf of our team. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next Sunday.